Okay, so now we're going to do his little eye, do the pupil, do the first layer on that. So we've already got a little bit of blue highlight there, which is dry. So you've got a little blob of lamp black. You need very little of this. I find this the best black to use. It's non-granulating. But so I've just loaded up my brush. I don't know whether you can quite see that on there, but I have. And now I'm just going to paint very carefully under the blue and it's like a crescent. So just I start with underneath the blue. You want to keep that curve so it makes it feel as if the eye is curved. I'm just going to turn this around. A nice smooth stroke around. So you always want to form an edge with the tip of your brush, not the belly of your brush. So then I'll turn it around again to do the other side. I can come further forward than that and further down. You better to go at it a couple of times. The brush is a little bit wet. Then go at a bullet a gate the first time. So start small and then go out a little bit more and a little bit more. And try and keep that line really smooth to the outside. So, can you see that? And then I'll turn it around again. And I'm just going to go around the very outside at the top. I'm going to form the top edge of the eye with a nice smooth stroke right around like so. Bring it down to there. Bring it down to there like a crescent. And then with a small clean brush, fresh water, and to take colour off it, I'm just going to go around the outside of that and just soften that black edge. Rinse off your brush if you need to, dry it off. It needs to be only just damp. And just go around and soften that edge all the way around. So it looks like he's got a little furry top over his eye. Like so. You want that just to bleed a little bit upwards. So you have to be a little bit patient with it. So don't put too much water on it and just go at it like that. So then I'm going to go around the perimeter of his eyeball because they've got it's quite inset, the eye. In fact, what I'll do is I'll pick up some Sugarlight, which is like the grey purpley colour. I've got some on my brush. I'm just going to dilute it a little bit so that it's like using watercolour wet on dry, not thick and pasty. And I'm just going to run around the outside of this little eye where the black was, just to create that rim, so it makes it feel as if his eye is set in from the outside. I'll just connect that up at the top there. It's good, and I'll let that dry before I finish it with more black. And I'm going to bring that Sugarlight from that point there and down in that triangle there, which is where his eye basically extends to. So you're forming like a point there with that grey purpley colour, because that's the light. That basically represents the light on that soft part of the eye. And then we'll go in, so that needs to be nice and smooth, like that. We'll go on with the black later and just touch up those other bits to put in a real dark in there. I'll just tidy up that little corner of my black and I'll bring some more. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit more black on my brush. And bring the top down. I just haven't quite got it coming down far enough here, because this is the shadow of his eyebrow, if you like. over there. I've washed off my brush, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to soften it on the underside so that that colour drifts across that blue, like so. So just then reassess it, and I think my eyeball needs, my pupil needs a little bit more rounding out that way. It's a little bit straight up there. So it needs to curve around nicely like that. Not bad. Good. So that won't take long to dry. That little bit of wet on dry there. Then with a little brush, I might just go down a size on my brush. I'm going to pick up some more lamp black again. And this is a size 1, a rosemary size 1. So I want this strong, but I don't want it just to stay on the brush. So I'm mixing myself a nice little puddle, that you can see there. Nice little puddle of very black, but very paintable, not too gluggy and sticky. I'll just take the excess off my brush. Then I'm going to run it around the outside of the eyeball. So it's a really dark, but right at the base of the eyeball there. So the bit that I did in the Sugarlight then will look like it's the lip that's around there. I'm turning it around so that it suits the angle of my hand to paint this bit. I've got my glasses on, so that needs to be nice and round. Then I'll turn it around this way, and I'll just darken the outside edges of that bit that I painted Sugarlight that looked so dark a minute ago is now faded out. So I'll just go in there with the dark and just form that outside bit. Wash off my brush. Take off the excess water. Like so. So I've got quite a solid black line around the eyeball because it's round. And then I'm going to soften this edge here. Clean water, small brush. I'm just softening the edge so that it isn't just a hard line to the outside, because that's where there's actually fur. And same this way. So I just turn it around so that you can use the tip of your brush to soften that. So then you can just re-evaluate the colour that you've got on the actual eyeball. Look at your image. It's quite dark to the outside. But I think for now, we should just leave it at that for the next stage.